the restoration of nature has the potential to prevent 60% of expected species extinctions, to draw down almost 300 gigatons of carbon, which is basically 30% of carbon that's in the atmosphere today, and also improve livelihoods and food security for about 1.3 billion people. And fundamentally, our mission at Restor is to unlock that potential. I'm Clara Rowe, and I'm the CEO of Restor. Oh, my cell phone is always on silent, so that shouldn't be a problem, but oh dear. Is it out of the shot? I joined remotely at the beginning of this year, and then I moved over to Zurich in April to really fully, that's what feels like my real start date when I arrived here and things started to feel more real. In 2019, actually here in Zurich, at ETH Zurich, a science group at the Crowther lab published a paper estimating how many trees could potentially be on Earth. And they came up with this number, 1 trillion trees that could be on Earth. And that sparked a whole lot of questions from people around the world saying like, okay, how can I get involved? What species of trees should I plant where? You know, how much carbon could I capture if I were able to do that? And that became the idea for Restor. By building a digital platform which provides easy access to data, which invites projects all over the world to be able to share the work that they're doing with each other, learn from each other, you know, make sure that mistakes aren't being made twice. And so what we want is for Restor to become a place where anyone can be a part of that. And anyone can be a part of restoration either directly or indirectly, and they can really see the impacts that they're having. Right now we have 75,000 sites who are on our platform, so that means we're reaching 75,000 different projects with the data that we have, and we'd like to get to 150,000 by the end of this year. And then more of an internal milestone is around our hiring and making sure that we're on a strong path at the end of this year with lead engineers in place in order to be able to build out in 2022. Restor is its own company, so it spun off from ETH at the beginning of this year. And we're actually a company owned by a foundation. So we have a fundamentally for good and nonprofit structure, but the nimbleness of the company underneath that foundation. And we still have strong advisors in our science partners at ETH. And then we have development support from Google, who helped us get the platform off the ground and help us build. I think there are many ways to join the restoration movement, right? To be a part of restoring nature. There are some ways that we can help facilitate on the platform today. I hope in the future there are many more ways, but today you can go on and you can look for volunteer opportunities, you can look for donation opportunities, you can check out what's happening in your own backyard. You can actually draw a shape around your backyard and see like, hey, how much carbon is here and how much carbon might there be if I were restoring, and we'll give you some recommendations on species to be able to restore. One thing that at Restor we're really trying to help bring to life is the fact that restoration is more than just trees and more than just planting trees. And so, you know, there are ecosystems around the world that are not meant to have, you know, thick forests. There are grasslands and wetlands and peatlands and, you know, all sorts of spaces that are natural without trees, and they're really important, but it doesn't mean that you plant a tree in the ground. And so we're trying to help tell that story a bit more, that ecosystems are many, many things, and so restoring nature means many, many things. As a very small organization at the beginning of the year, and at the beginning of a year that was still very much driven by COVID and by the need to be flexible in terms of being at home and being at work, FlexOffice for us has meant the ability to grow and to shrink as needed. It's been, you know, the right price point for us. It's been the right location for us. It simplifies operationally so many things for us. So we don't have to think about internet, and we don't have to think about printers, and we don't have to think about the kitchen. And so again, it allows us to focus in on the core of what we're doing right now. And that's been really important to us. Yes, we do benefit from other tenants here in the office. So Actually, we found our fiduciary who's been helping us with accounting here. I have informally been able to sit down with people who do recruiting and think a bit about our strategy in terms of insourcing and outsourcing, and that's been really terrific. And then, of course, just getting to hear about the other things that are exciting and inspiring people. And even if that's not something that day-to-day operationally there's a connection, you feel that energy of people who are making things happen.